All right, we have the first film of 2024. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Night Swim movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, now we have Night Swim, a horror thriller, something that I really wasn't looking for, to be honest with you. Now, this is being directed by Mr. Bryce McGuire, and I've never heard of him before. He's a writer, director, and producer, does all three. And if we scroll down and just look at his filmography, he's done a number of short films. Every House is Haunted, Witchcraft, motion pictures, all of this stuff you see right here. And I've never seen or heard of any of these before, but if you have and you're a fan of his work, please let me know down in the comment section below. Now, when it comes to horror films, I usually stay away from those. Now, I can always do a slasher film. Those are very, very easy for me to handle for the most part. But when it comes to evil spirits, demon possessions, things like that, movies that are directed by Ari Aster, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, he's the guy that did Midsummer a number of years ago. I stay the hell away from those. It's just too much. You can call me a scared cat. It's all good. But when I saw the trailer for this film, I said, I think I can do this. This seems like it'll be really easy. Just another garbage film dumped in January. And the reason why I said that as far as my expectations are concerned is usually January is considered the toilet bowl season for movies, where studios just don't have any faith, any confidence in their material, and they just dump it in January. They're easily forgettable, and you won't remember them like 5 minutes after you see the film. Every once in a while, you do get a good gem here and there, but for the most part, the films that are released in January are always horror, and they're not that good. And that's exactly what I thought I was gonna get with Night Swim. My expectations for this film was super duper low. I was not expecting it to be good. I wasn't planning on bringing out the bleach, but I knew it was a possibility. But still, like I try to do always, I want to go in with an open mind, give it a chance. You never know when you may or may not enjoy yourself. So with that being said, my expectations were low. But before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film, Night Swim, is all about. A woman swimming in her pool at night is terrorized by an evil spirit. All right, guys, the first thing that I liked about this movie is it's short. It's only 98 minutes, so right over an hour and a half. So if you want to get in and get out real quick, this film is for you. I love a film that's 3 hours if the story, plot, and everything around it warrants it to be that long. But if you can fit something in 90 minutes, hey, I'd rather have it short. And that is exactly what Night Swim is. The next thing that I liked about this film is the family. We have a husband and wife and a son and daughter, and I love their whole dynamic. These parents in this film are doing the best job that they can, and looking from the outside in, it seems like they're doing a really, really good job. But at the same time, being a parent is not easy, and there's always going to be things that slip between the cracks. And that is the case when it comes to the oldest son in this film. Sometimes he is neglected, not on purpose, just because just being a parent is not easy. And you kind of see how that develops his character as he's going into his teenage years in this movie. But going back to the parents, I love their relationship, the way that they communicate. Seems like they love each other very, very much. And of course, that is important. And the main character in this film is Wyatt Russell. He is the husband of this film. He also was in Monarch, the Godzilla series that's on Apple right now. And they actually played Captain Jack in the Box, or Captain America, in one of the latest Marvel Studios Disney Plus films, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. His wife is being played by Carrie Condon. She was also in the MCU too as the voice, the AI voice of Friday, and I was not familiar with that until now. But I really did like these two in the film. They have a great relationship. I love their chemistry. They seem like they get along quite well. And I was really enjoying getting to know them as this film progressed on. Another relationship that I like within this family is the brother and sister relationship, their sibling rivalry. They love each other very much, but at the same time, they get on each other's nerves and they're always bickering back and forth. Me having a younger brother myself, I can relate to that to some degree. And I just enjoyed them kind of terrorizing each other every once in a while in this film, especially when the daughter wanted to have company and expressed to her brother like, hey, if you tell mom and dad I had somebody come over to the house, I'm going to do this, this, and that. And I did get a great laugh out of that. Now, as far as laughs is concerned, I did not know that this film is a comedy. I was laughing a lot in this film, much more than I expected. And everybody else in the auditorium was laughing even more than I was. That was way left field. I did not expect that at all. And I thought that this was a horror. I thought this was a thriller, but they might as well put comedy up there to describe this. And what's funny is just the reactions that other supporting characters had and their lack of social skills, talking under their breath, being sarcastic, facetious, and all of that. It was funny, it was abrupt, but it was also unexpected, and that did kind of lift the film up just a little bit during all of its downtimes. The film was also funny at times where it was meant to be scary, and I'll talk about that in my negatives. But just going back to the family, that is the best thing of this movie. They're struggling and trying to adjust to a new life because the husband in this film is trying to recover from an injury, and you do feel sorry for him and you want him to get well. You want him to be healed and be the best father, the best leader in this family that he possibly can be. But guys, that is going to sum up everything that I really did like about this film. Now let me transition to some things that I did not like or just some huge missed opportunities. Now earlier I said that this film is short, coming right over an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And with it being that short, you would think that things will pop off early on in the film and get going. But that's my first complaint. Not much happens in this movie. It takes a very, very long time for the crap to hit the fan. And that is not a good thing. I don't want to say that I was bored because I was really interested in the family and the way that they got along. But as the film is playing out, they just sprinkle bits of horror here and there. And it's not like an appetizer. It's just giving you pieces of Ritz crackers. You're really, really hungry and they're just dangling a carrot in front of you this whole time. And you're kind of just saying to yourself like, okay, I like this family, but at the same time, when am I going to be scared? When am I going to be closing my eyes? When am I going to be grabbing the edge of my seat or my armrest? And it really takes a long time for that to get going. Another thing that I really didn't care for is the slow reaction time that a lot of the characters had in this movie when things finally did go down. When people are in a nervous panic, instead of using common sense and calling 911, they're just screaming with their heads chopped off like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What do we do? Pick up the phone and call 911. That's very unbelievable in today's time when everyone takes their phone everywhere they go, even when they're in the bathroom. And for that not to be your first reaction when something is happening, that really did rub me the wrong way and kind of made me roll my eyes. Also in this film, guys, there are a number of jump scares. Some people don't like jump scares. Some people do. I don't mind them for my particular taste, but I felt that they were super duper ineffective in this film. Every time a jump scare would come up, I did not jump. I was not scared. I was like, okay, let's move on to the next. You did not get me at all. They were super duper predictable, but even in past horror films, when the jump scares are predictable and you know they're coming from a mile away, they can still make me jump a bit. And I did not jump in this film. A few times I laughed, and I'm not supposed to laugh. I'm not supposed to chuckle. And even the boogeyman or the evil spirit that's going around hunting this family in the pool, it was goofy as hell. It looked like a Mr. Potato Head that was left in the oven for too long with a smile on his face coming out saying, ooh, boogie, boogie, boogie. I was like, are you serious? This is crazy. There was one jump scare to where I didn't jump to where I was like, oh, that's nasty. But if that's all you got, you really need to come with the heat, and that's really weak in my opinion. Now, when things finally do kick off and the crap hits the fan at the very beginning of the third act, it really was weird, disgusting, and uninspired. And that's when I thought the film were just gonna go downhill into the toilet bowl, like I said before. I was saying to myself, oh my gosh, this is stupid as hell. This is possibly going to be one of the worst movies of the year. And I did not like it. Continuing on into the third act, things did get a bit silly. They did get a bit goofy, and I was not liking the way this film was headed. I was nervous. However, I will give the film credit because When things were explained and then finally revealed at the end, it was consistent with the beginning of the movie and everything that came in between. And if I had to be completely honest with you, the very ending of this movie saved the day. It really was heartfelt, warm, and I was saying, man, they really got me there. I feel bad for what's going on right now and wish these people the best. So the ending was not that bad. And again, it really did save the day. If it wasn't for the last 4 to 5 minutes of this movie, I don't know that if I could give this film a passing grade, but you know, they did conclude things fairly well. Guys, even though this film is being described as scary, thriller, or horror, it's not that scary. If you tend to stay away from films like that, I promise you, you will be okay. Honestly, this film was not scary at all. You're gonna laugh more than you're gonna get scared. And if you want to see films like that, feel free, go see it, enjoy yourself, do what you want to do with your money. I'm not here to tell you how to spend it. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'll go ahead and give my rating for this at the very end of this review, guys. But for now, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, my commentary, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts down below. I really would appreciate it, and I check out all of them. So guys, if I had to rate Night Swim out of a 1 out of 10, I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10. Yes, a 6 out of 10. That is the lowest grade that I can give this film in a passing status. It does pass. It's not horrible. It's not that bad, if I had to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be much worse, but like I said for the third time, the very ending of this film did save the day. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.